All right, welcome to today's cohort update. We are three. That's a very good thing that we have more time to talk more about the project updates of Mary and Imre. For those who don't know me, my name is Emil Sire. I'm a software engineer. I've been building software for 23 years, 17 years as a full stack engineer. And now, recently, start of this year, I started doing workshops. And Mary and Imre both are the participants of my very first cohort, which started 2 weeks ago. On a regular basis, every Sunday at 10 a.m., we start a 90-minute long session where we go in detail and review the projects that they have built. And in this session, we're going to see their projects. I will live review it and do some suggestions so you could get a lot of insights from this session. So now we'll do a quick round of introduction. Mary and Imre will do their introduction, and then we will take it from there and go to their project details and do that. Mary, please.
Yes, I'm Marie-Paul, based in Berlin, and I'm a SEO, senior SEO manager at DeepL, the translation tool. Um, I joined the cohort 3 weeks ago, and the reason of me joining the cohort is learning new skills because I believe being able to at least automate uh, part of our task will be something big in the future. I mean, it's already big, but it's going to be bigger. Um, as I'm really curious and I'm always looking for new challenges, I decided to jump into the AI agent trend. Um, not only because it's a trend, but also because it's super interesting. And I'm really curious. I like to learn and I like to elevate my skills. That's why I decided to join the cohort. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yes. So hi everyone. My name is Imre. I'm located in Hungary, Budapest. So I also have a 9 to 5 job, working as a product owner. And besides that, I already founded my company um, in the AI voice space. So I began to get interested in the AI voice space at the beginning of January this year. I joined to an AI voice boot camp, and I got some experience, hands-on experience creating voice agent. And the reason I joined to this cohort, I want to extend this knowledge to be able to create a full stack application. And at this point, I find this very interesting, the methods, the tech stack, and so on. Um, my aim is, as an agency owner, is to deliver value for healthcare companies. So my project is aiming for delivering some sort of dashboard for patients follow up. And besides that, I'm also dealing with reg agent. I have also clients, and I'm creating a voice-based reg agent to the clients. Thank you.
That's a very good coincidence that on 26th and 27th of July, I'm doing a voice-based RAG agent, which kind of resonates so much with this. I will quickly show this, and then we'll go to your projects. So
Yeah.
we're starting at 9 a.m. on 26th of July. We're gonna do a bunch of things like 11 labs for voice AI, something totally new for you guys at least. RAG literally on Supabase and N8N, and then we'll do some vibe coding with Next.js, build a web application. But the entire thing is around building a voice AI CRM for LinkedIn. So basically, you meet people around the world and you kind of forget about those little talks you have, either online or in person in a meeting. You connect with them. But LinkedIn now is really crowded place. Like you connect with everyone, but you don't talk to everyone. So when you have a quick chat or talk with someone, you take some voice notes. That voice note is stored in a vector database. And then next time when you see the person or you see a post or something, you kind of go to your CRM and then in a fuzzy way search, you can pull that information. For example, if in person you met John Doe in a meetup in Berlin, and then you call Samantha, this voice AI agent that we'll build in these 2 days, uh, you will say Samantha that, hey, I met John Doe and we spoke about the health insurance differences between US and Germany. And John Doe works in a startup in Silicon Valley and he is an American. And, and the next time you meet John Doe 6 months later, but you don't remember his name. You just remember that you spoke about health insurance and he works in a startup in Silicon Valley. But you call Samantha, this voice AI agent, you say, hey, Samantha, I just met John Doe a couple of months ago. We spoke about health insurance differences between US and America, and I think he works in a startup in Silicon Valley. So that fuzzy memory that you have from that, you give that to Samantha, and then Samantha, this voice AI agent, goes and pulls that information from the Victor store, and then it will show you the LinkedIn profile of John Doe so that you can remember him, quickly review the LinkedIn profile, and then go and greet John Doe with his name, which I will personally be using a lot. And this is my personal problem I want to solve. And I think this is just one small little possible way of getting into RAG for this workshop series that have been started since March. We did 3 times. All the times it was in person. We had a lot of fun. But this is a special edition because it's going to happen for 2 days, 2 full days. Therefore, I want to cut some logistics of like buying pizza and venue and so on. Therefore, I decided to go 100% online. But it apparently is not going to go 100% online because I'm right now in the process of seeing if I can get a nice little room for 10 people and then invite just 10 people. But we'll see if that's going to happen. But at least it's going to be happening 100% online. So with that, I give back the microphone to you guys. Let's start from Mary. You want to go first with your project?
Yes. Should I share my screen?
Please.
Hmm?
Tuk, tuk, tuk. Let me know when you see something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do you see
I
the
can.
work?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I think I'm done.
Nice.
It's not perfect, but yeah, at least this is the first version. So my project was about clustering keyword, um, because whenever you want to create content, you first need to come up with some search terms, because if you want to be visible on Google, you need to make sure that you target the keyword people search on Google. And usually, if you want to tackle a specific topic, it's not just about uh, tackling this specific topic. For instance, I would like to write something about content automation, for instance, there are two options. First option is I just target the term content automation and then I create a page around that, which is not good because when we talk about content automation, there are many subtopics within content automation. So you need to do some keyword research so you can identify a related topic to content automation. And by identifying this related topic, you are then able to build what I call a hub, a content hub, where you have as a parent page content automation, and then you have different sub pages that I also call children pages. Um, and then basically you link all this page to each other to become, let's say, an expert in this content automation topic. So that's why when trying to write content, it's not just about writing for a specific keyword, but it's about writing about a topic. So yeah, the first step is keyword research, and basically this workflow is about automating the process of doing keyword research. Is not a complete, let's say, you still need to verify the output because sometimes there's something breaking up in the workflow. So it's not really a complete AI agent, but at least it makes things a little bit easier. So basically in this workflow, I have a seed keyword. This is my trigger. So I have the seed keyword and the trigger could also be a new row in a specific Google Sheet. And then once I trigger with the seed keyword, I need to request some data. So I need to find all the related topic to my seed keyword. So let's say my seed keyword is content automation, then I need to request data from some tools. It could be keyword.ai or Ahref because I want to get a list of related topics. And I, at the same time, I also request some data from an LLM, which could be ChatGPT or Claude. And the idea is to get long tail keyword. And long tail keyword is a little bit like the longer version of your seed keyword. It could be a question or a really long sentence, but you also want to get this data. So usually this is something I get from an LLM. Once I get the data, I need to do some cleaning because at the end I'm just interested in the keyword. And usually when you call a specific API, you get not only the keyword, but you also get the search volume of the topics and the CPC. But for me, I'm just interested in the keyword and not the other data. So I need to do some cleaning here. And once I do the cleaning here and on this site, I need to merge the data because at the end, I only want to have a long list, which is not only my list of topics from keyword.ai, but also my list of topics from an LLM. So I need to merge the data. Next step, because from here we have a list of 1,000 items, and just because I do not want to mess up my credit API credit with ChatGPT, I need to make sure that I how can I explain? So here we have a list of maybe 1,000 keywords, but at the end, I don't want ChatGPT to go through the 1,000 items. So I need to flatten my list and my list of keywords, remove duplicate, and then send this information to the AI agent as an item, one item, not a list of 1,000 items. And then the AI agent will do its magic, and the magic of the AI agent is the clustering. So I need to write a specific prompt to the AI agent so it can understand that I have this list of keywords and I need to cluster, find um, a specific topic related to each other and create clusters. And this is not perfect because if you have a list of, let's say, 50 or 50, let's say 5,000 keywords, it might be a lot for the AI agent because it's too many tokens. Um, so sometimes you need to maybe cluster by batch. So you create a batch of 500 keywords, and then you always cluster the batch and not the whole list. But in my case, I just had, I think, 900 keywords. So I was able at the end to cluster 700 keywords, which was fine for me because I was able to identify the topic I was looking for. And yeah, this is pretty much the end of the workflow. This is just some cleaning, just to make sure that I get the data right into Google Sheet. And then basically, if I execute my workflow and I have my API here, then I just need to add a seed keyword, click on execute workflow, and then at the end, I get a list of cluster in Google Sheet. So yes.
That's wonderful. Just to clarify that 2 points that you mentioned, one, the flattening thing, like literally, you don't want to send 1,000 API requests to ChatGPT. Well, you can, but the problem is it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you more money than if you have sent it in one batch, in one go. Although the actual difference is not one-to-one because you pay by token, you don't pay by call, but still every single call will have the prompt, and the prompt will be repeated 1,000 times. So it's not the actual payload that is repeating, but the actual call that's going to repeat. And I believe your keywords .ai account ran out of credits, and we cannot see that in action. Can we see your workflow in action? Can you run it and we can see it, or do you have?
The problem is now the API is not working anymore because it was free.
Yeah.
I was thinking about maybe getting a month. It's just, I think, $49. So I would probably get for 1 month so I can experiment
So
more.
right now I saw in your workflow there was like this green check mark. Is there already some payload there? We can see that, like double click your keywords API request,
So let me
HTTP request.
Screen again. Share. Yeah. So the problem here is the API is not working anymore.
Yeah, can you
So
double click it, please? Or double
what did
click
you
this
say?
request to keywords.ai. Yeah. So here we already have the data, 29 items that was sent back to us from your previous call before you ran out of your credits, right?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
so what if you pin this? Like literally scroll to the right. You see it's hidden, that little button on the top bar where, yes, scroll to the right side. There's a small scroll bar. No, not this
Oh,
box.
I don't know why the screen is so.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, this one.
Yeah.
So if you pin it and then you go back, then this HTTP request will not happen. Any other key that should work? Now the HTTP request will jump over it because then it is pinned data. It will find the data. It will not send requests to keywords.
Yeah.
So now, if you run it, I think it's gonna work this time.
Let's see.
Yeah. Because yeah, you see it jumped over it, but now this node is giving a problem with the node for the merging. Can you open that, please? It cannot define the line item. Okay, So this is not able to find the items. This is something that I mentioned last time, that what if we use the edit set field instead of like coding? Maybe
You
this
know
is
what? I
something.
know what is the problem. So the
Mm-hmm.
problem is here it's not anymore keyword.ai API because this is another tool which is Rapid
Ah, I see.
API.
Okay, okay. And the payload of
So
this is
that's
different.
why
Okay,
it
yeah,
doesn't work
makes
because
sense.
I need to use the data from keyword AI here to be able to use this one. But the problem is if I switch the URL and all this information here to use keyword.ai, it won't work because I don't have credit anymore. But as I said, this is the Google Sheet. So I was able at the end to get, the, yeah,
Understood. And this error currently is happening because you switched the provider, but the following
exactly.
node is still referring to the keywords of the object from keyword.ai, not this rapid something.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
that's why this branch is not working.
got it.
But
If we go back to your Google Sheet, I want to kind of like close this session with
yeah,
understanding what an SEO expert would do with this Google Sheet that you have produced.
yeah. So I have my cluster here. So
Mm-hmm.
for instance, I then know how to, you know, um, if I filter for instance,
So an SEO expert needs to find which keywords to include in the next blog post of a company.
um, actually no, your work as an SEO expert. So once you have your clusters,
Mm-hmm.
basically one cluster is like a hub you can tackle. So let me take the content automation as an example. So if I get, for instance, 5 clusters about content automation, about AI agent, then I can create in my or on my website, I can create a hub about content automation, and then for each topics I would like to tackle within the content automation, I can always go back to my Google Sheet and see
I see.
or this is not about content automation, but you can always come back to your sheet, check a specific cluster. So let me just find a smaller one. Uh, so this is, for instance, a small cluster, and then I have different keyword here I can tackle. So this keyword could be keyword I use in the same page, or it could be a keyword that I can use to create a specific page targeting this specific
Understood.
keyword.
So
Do you understand what I mean?
the reason that you used, I know it from the last session, but just reiterating to make sure I understood it. The reason you use keyword dot AI is because it, or Ahrefs, as we did last time, is because these keywords are not just randomly generated text. It is with traffic data, like
Exactly.
how many potential visits does it have, how many potential Google
But to be
searches.
honest, now I don't even look. I don't even look into the search volume because for me, what is important, what is important is the need of the users. So even if a keyword only has, let's say, 30 search volume per month, but at the end, what is the intent behind this keyword? If the intent is high, and I know that this keyword only have 20 search volume per month, but if someone look for this keyword, they are really ready to convert. I might be more interested in this keyword instead of
I
looking
see.
for something with 15K searches per month, but the intent, the
A-
conversion intent is low.
And this data that you get from Keyword AI, does it also include the current competition? Like if
Yes,
there are a lot of blogs already covering it?
yes, yes.
Okay,
You
so
can
this
get that.
also can, you can do cohort analysis that if it is like low, it's okay. is there enough blogs covering it, and how do you know the intent of the user?
The intent is you have to do some manual work here.
I see.
Usually, if I want to understand the intent behind a keyword, I simply go on Google myself and I type the keyword,
Okay.
and then I see what are the pages, the page ranked between position 1 and 10. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, the first page of Google. So I look at the pages, I check some pages just to understand why Google is ranking those websites for this keyword. Then I'm able to understand, oh, what is the intent? What is the type? What is the format? So maybe it's a blog post or maybe it's a landing page. So by checking yourself on Google, then you understand what is the format, what is the right format for this term. A blog post, a landing page, a product page, or any other type of page.
That's wonderful. Let's actually do a very quick. Um, let me share my screen here because this is getting interesting. If you can automate that, how would it look like? It's upon you whether you want to automate this particular workflow or not. But my understanding is this, that in order to understand the intent, you go here, you search, let's say the content is um, AI automation for, um, I don't know, landlords,
For business.
landlords and tenants, landlords, because then they call, I have received personally a lot of warm leads for this, that because all of my content goes around building AI agents, like I build AI agents mostly focused on bookkeeping, accounting, and invoices, but I received this kind of a content request or an automation request that I'm a landlord. I want to put a lot of phones. Emery, this is a very good kind of lead for you, although you are focused on healthcare, but this could be something that you could consider adding in your services in the future. Is landlords are looking for voice AI agents that they can put their tenants into a list, and every month a voice AI agent calls them and then reminds them about the rent, because some people don't pay their rent on time and landlords do that manually. So here,
Interesting.
Mary, I want to search this and I want to find out the intent of this behind this. You said if I go there and I search the first pages between the first 10 pages, then I can understand the intent, right? So, how can you guide me through that? And then I have a small idea about using Apify's Google Search API, this one, to kind of like lay down the words, not necessarily do it, to how to automate this part of your intent searching workflow. So, how do you kind of like find the intent, for example, from a page when you go there?
So can you scroll up? So yeah. First, when you search for this keyword, you see that you have videos, you have Reddit, which means usually when you have Reddit is people are looking for proper user experience.
Proper user experience.
Yes,
Okay.
because if I look for a specific keyword on Google and I see Reddit, it means that the intent behind is really people are looking for other people experience.
I see. Like, okay, that's interesting. So if we go to
Yeah.
ChatGPT and then we ask for this, can you please analyze this search term and tell me what is the intent behind the content that you can see from the search result right now? So if this result is acceptable by you, then we can automate this, and I will tell you how. So it says something like this. Uh, can you please read this and
Okay.
then?
Yeah. that's definitely the intent, because if someone look for AI automation for landlord, it means that there might be a landlord looking for tools to automate. So they might look for user experience. So that's why you see Reddit as the first result,
Mm.
because I'm a landlord and maybe I'm looking for experience from other people,
Mm.
um, and videos. Okay, I mean, this is not, those videos are not really related to.
And
Uh,
the user experience, it's kind of like
uh,
building it. Okay. No, but
but usually when I look, if you go back on the Google search, as I said, when I see Reddit as the first result, then I understand that if I write this content, I need to make sure that I highlight a specific user experience. So as a company, let's say you automate for different client, maybe you already have a landlord as a client, and then you need to use this client as a case study in your content, because people are looking for human experience
mm-hmm.
by having a case study. So when I see that, I understand, oh, Reddit as the first result on Google, which means if I create content about AI automation for landlord, and I already have a client, which is a landlord,
Yeah,
then I can put his case as a case study for my content.
I see. Makes sense.
And then you see the other page. So the when you scroll up, no, down, sorry. So then you also have this people ask box, where you can see what type of question you can insert into your content. These people, yeah.
Okay. So this can be as a part of the content of the blog post
Yeah,
itself.
you can create a section, an FAQ section,
I see.
and then you tackle some of these
I see.
questions.
Makes sense. So just to close the session and give the microphone to Emery, this can also be automated. Like the automation, it's kind of like this, like whatever you have shown or whatever the first moments of NA10 is with you, like literally putting literally this one thing, let's say this AI agent. This is a gateway drug to automation. Once you put this little box and it works, and then you kind of like find yourself thinking about automating the rest of the world. And I think what we just spoke about can be automated using this API, because this gives you the search results. And then what we spoke about is like literally taking all of this data and then sending it to ChatGPT and then making a sense of it, so that your end result, even like you have this list of what do you call it, the list of tool keywords, but this is not enough yet. You want to understand what's the intent behind that.
The intent, yes.
So you can literally create a workflow, send every single search result to Google search results scrape to Apify, just HTTP request. And then Apify gives you back a JSON, and then you take that JSON, send it back to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT gives you back a structured output saying that the intent behind this is this and that and this and that. And then you have another column on your Google Sheet that says intent is this, intent is this. And then you can open that. And then now my kind of like brain goes on a viral loop, says like, oh, okay, if I can get the intent of 1,000 keywords, can I create a UI using vibe coding, which takes me to the next question. The UI with vibe coding that I can search like as a chat box. The underlying data of that chat box is not just LLM knowledge, but also this 1,000 keywords or maybe 10,000 keywords as an SEO expert that I have collected from the internet for my business, and also enriched it based on the intent, based on this Google search scrape. And then now I can use that as a sidekick. Each time I open this vibe coded chat interface in Next.js and ask questions like, "Hey, I want to I want to write a blog for landlords. Can you give me some keywords based on the intent of buying?" Something like that. And then it goes through that database of 10,000 keywords that we have enriched, not only searched, but also enriched. And then it will give us the keywords that might be very, very relevant. That takes me to the question, what is your plan for vibe coding? What's your plan, Mary, for building a UI for this? Because I only see you working on the workflow, not at an actual UI.
Actually, it's a good idea. To be honest, I didn't think about that, but I think it's a really good idea.
Okay. If the
And
time
maybe
allows,
we,
if the time allows, because we're getting closer to the end of the cohort,
yeah,
I encourage you to build a UI for this. Even if you're okay with Google Sheet, kind of like get your hands dirty with vibe coding, especially with Claude Code. This current course that I'm working on hopefully will be soon released, and then you can get like really amazing results with Claude Code and Cursor combined together. Yeah, I
yeah,
encourage you
actually, it's a good idea, but let's see. I don't know if I can manage till next Sunday,
to.
but
Yeah, no, stay focused
it's
entirely
still
on your
a project
workflow,
ahead.
but maybe after the graduation, yeah, you can work on
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you
That
so
was a very
much.
good deep dive to your workflow, and I believe it's getting to a very baked solution. Yeah,
Yeah,
wonderful.
thank you.
Good luck with that. Emery, stage is all yours.
Thank you. So I share my screen. Just a second. Yeah, where should I start? Yeah, so that my initial step was that to do some sort of mind mapping, just to put the things on a whiteboard to have a clearer understanding about what I want to achieve. I wrote down an overview. Cackle is a voice assistant system designed for small to medium clinics to automate follow-up calls, collect post-visit feedback and symptoms, and escalate issues automatically to healthcare staff. Using WebP for outbound calls, Supabase for patient data, Anyten for automation, and Next.js UI for clinicians, this system enables continuous care without overloading the front desk. So that was my initial statement. So as I already mentioned that I'm using WebP as the voice orchestration, Anyten workflow to trigger trigger the Supabase database. I mean, the information which is gathered during the phone call will be transferred to the Supabase DB. In Supabase, I create four tables, and the web application consists of five pages. So there is also a landing page on the application. So that was my initial yeah.
Is it me or we can
You're
hear you?
muted.
I'm
We
muted.
now we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mary. Yeah, okay. You can hear me, yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So in Vapi, I created a basic agent. I gave them a basic prompt. I run a test already with the agent. So it's basically it's asking for your general well-being, how you feel yourself after
How
the
about
posting.
a demo?
Um,
Like here, like talk to assistant.
yeah. But I don't believe you will hear. You just only can see the.
If you
Um,
stop screen sharing and then start again only with a tab, then we can hear you.
okay. Just a second. Then I stop presenting.
I mean, at this point, only a demo of like just a voice conversation between you and the bot, and then later we can do the demo of the entire workflow if it is done. Otherwise, it's okay to see your UI.
So I'm only just sharing the Webby dashboard.
Yes.
Something went wrong. Okay. Oh no, it's not. It's not the right tab.
So meanwhile, I will fill with a little bit of information here. What Emery is building is so close to what I wanted to build once I failed to build, and I'm super happy to see that someone is building it now. What we built was something called medicationring.com,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a very simple um, web application that would allow children to sign up their parents on this platform
Mm-hmm.
with their phone number, and then whenever their medication time would arrive, this voice AI agent would call the parent, and then they would be reminded on the phone call that, hey, it's your time to take your medication. That's it. Simple, very simple, easy solution. But unfortunately, due to lack of focus, we had to let that project die. And now, when Emery pitched this idea a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, that's a very cool one. I would like to support you as much as I can whenever I can to make this a
Yeah.
success. And I'm super excited about your project.
So the problem is I'm currently in a different domain, and
Mm.
I'm only allowed to share
I know
the
the,
WebP
yeah,
of this domain. But I created the the application in another domain, so I'm not
nice.
able to share the Chrome tab. So I will only able to share the Chrome tab for this my business domain, but I'm
Yeah,
doing the demo, doing the whole application in a dummy domain. So I unfortunately am not able to share the whole.
that's fine. Absolutely fine.
That's
Let's go.
that's yes, that's fine at the moment. Um, okay. Um, yeah. The Vapi dashboard. So I created the prompt. I adjusted the agent for the transcriber, the voice. So I did the initial setup, and the next step was that I'm on the wrong page. Sorry for that. Ah, here is it. Um, so I created the basic web agent. After that, I created two n8n workflow. One is only just gathering the end of core reports. So my intention is that I will
Emery,
draw.
quick question. So
Yeah,
when is this starting? Like, where does the agent start? Does it start automatically after an event? When does the
yes.
trigger call happen?
That will be the second n8n workflow. I'm going to figure it out whether it will be a schedule training, schedule trigger, or a super base search row or something like that. That will check the patient data. So it's basically based on that the intervention. So the medical intervention happens on Wednesday, and on Thursday, the agent automatically call the patient about the well-being, how is he feeling about
So
after the medical
so
medical
visit. So there's a doctor visit or medical whatever
yeah, yeah,
inspection
yeah,
on
and
one day, and then the second day your agent should call. Say that
yes,
yesterday you
yes.
were at our clinic and I wanted to know how things are going and blah blah blah.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yes, yes. That is my intention. So it's a post-visit follow-up, and I'm going to figure it out in which node I will trigger the call. I have
I
several.
I think the best would be that we do a schedule call. Like you trigger you on the I wouldn't put it on the database trigger because
Mhm.
you already have um, a workflow that saves data. Right there, you do this schedule. The moment you save data to the Supabase, that's the moment you also put a schedule trigger on your NA10 workflow. Because if you put it on the trigger of the database, it basically leaves the NA10 world, goes to the database, and then comes back to NA10 world. So it doesn't make any sense to kind of
Yeah,
like
but
send the flow to.
uh, yeah, but in that case, I'm leaping towards the Superbase tables because it based on the patient's table. So in our scenario, the doctor just typing down the information of the patient, and there is the last visit date, and based on this last visit, one day will be added.
But
So after one
how do
day,
you set the last visit date? Through the UI or
it's maybe it will be a future feature. So currently just in a database level, but I will want to enrich the UI, which I'm going to talk on later.
okay?
That that's somebody able to type down the so. During the visit, a nurse or the doctor is able to type down the things. So the UID will be generated automatically
Understood.
by the
Okay.
Superbase.
In this case, then it makes sense.
But it's version 2 or version 3, so it
I
just
see. It's in the
okay.
future. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Please go ahead. Yeah.
um, yeah, okay. So basically, I will focus on the N8 workflow as the next step and the WebP,
Mhm.
because the Superbase part and the uh, application part is nine, 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 95% completed already. So I set it up the patients, the cause patient, the symptom reports, so that that will be um, pushed from the N8 workflow. So there will be an analyze, and I want to put an agent in the N8 workflow which gives classification for the risk level. So based on the conversation, it will give low, medium, high, and in case of high, it should be escalated, and it is represented on the UI that
I have an
escalated.
idea for this, Emery. Maybe you
Okay.
need to think about it on the future. So, if based on the conversation, the LLM identified this as a high risk, not only it's escalated on the dashboard with a red color or something, but also it gives a
Even
phone call to the doctor.
phone call to the doctor, phone call to the nurse. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
that's a
that's
very cool idea. And I think there are a lot of, if you Google, there are a lot of stories, very emotional stories of people saying that, hey, my uh, I Chat GPT saved my wife from dying or something like that. Because
yeah, yeah,
I read one story last time that the doctors give some sort of, I don't know, medication, and they were okay. They said okay, and this guy is kind of like a Chat GPT addict, and he says like I run everything with Chat GPT once, and then they were discharging us, and and then I used ChatGPT and I ran all the pictures of the paper and asked some questions, and I said like, wow, this is something that I need to ask a doctor. And then I went and asked a doctor, and then they said, oh my god, if we would have not checked this particular thing, there was a life-threatening risk to this particular patient if they would leave and go
mm,
home and sleep or something. And those kind
I
of
see.
stories are full on the internet. You can search on the internet and kind of like channeling it the way you're doing it right now. And the moment hits that little conversation between the bot saying like, yeah, I'm feeling dizzy but I don't have appetite, I'm just making an example, but this level of conversation can happen with the chat gpt, the LLM, the voice AI agent on the phone call, and this elderly lady, uh, lonely at her home after the visit, having this conversation, and then you suddenly find a symptom that's not possible to for every single doctor to sit behind a phone call and have like a 30-minute long call. If it has to be a 30-minute long call, it can be, but let's say in 3 minute 5 minute long call, if an elderly gives a symptom to ChatGPT, ChatGPT can escalate it on a phone call, on an SMS, on a whatever. And now imagine the possibilities of this. This escalation can not only be a phone call to the doctor, but also to the children, an SMS, a WhatsApp message. In cases if this really is escalated up, people can go and call 911 immediately. Like, look
Yeah.
at the um, number of these Apple Watches saved lives because it can fall down and then it can call 911 automatically. This is that IoT miracle, Internet of
Yeah.
Things, the little gyroscope in the watch, when it falls down so fast, then it knows that the person literally fell down, and it can call 911 and give the GPS coordinates and so on. And since your platform, how is that called? Care Call?
Care call.
Care
Yeah.
Call. If Care Call gets that level of data, and then it knows, it's confident that this is a very, very immediate, important situation, and it escalates it to the doctor, and also it can escalate it to 911. And since it has all the patient information, all the patient data, it can actually have a call, an actual very valuable call back and forth with 911, saying that, hey, I am Samantha, I called on behalf of Mrs. Mueller, and she is super sick, she cannot talk, she has the symptom, I already talked to the doctor, can you guys be informed, and blah blah. And then the operator, the police officer behind 911, can say that, where is the address? Yeah, the address is, I don't know, Mullerstrasse 23, Berlin 123. Or I'm just mixing 911 with
I made a
Germany, but
similar
yeah.
application, voice application, but it was an only conversation application. So it called the care for beloved ones. So and it's just only holding a conversation, and based it's using a Google Sheet, and based on the address of the called person, it offers an activity in the neighborhood.
Wow,
So
that's
and
nice.
just
Yeah,
just
I'm getting so
but
excited
no
about the
interference.
possibilities of voice AI, being a voice AI engineer, and seeing all these possible automations in front of me. I'm sorry I hijacked your
No,
presentation.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no problem at all. So
go ahead,
yeah,
please.
thank you for yeah, okay, yeah. So these information will be pushed by the anytime workflow, and we have the users table. I set up authentication for the users table. There is a role for admin, a nurse, and doctor. Currently, I'm using my email address. And let us see the application. So it's very plain. We have
Mm-hmm.
a landing page, um, very dummy password. You have the chance to sign up and to send a forget password. For the sign up part, that will be also a future feature. An administrator can set up the role of the sign up person. So in the UI, it will be a future feature. And you can see this is the that is which welcomes me. It welcomes me, and it says the role, which role I am having now. But if I were to sign up with the uh, doctor role, that is the doctor role, you can see that I cannot see the settings because the admin only can see the settings. in the dashboard. So it's a little bit
Ju-
slow, and
just for the
sometimes it
just for the context, this is built in Next.js, TypeScript,
Next.js. Yeah.
and Supabase. The authentication is in Supabase, and this is 100% vibe coded web application
Yes, yes.
using
But
Cursor and Taskmaster.
yeah, Taskmaster is so
Maybe.
maybe so it's still down, but as you can
Okay,
see, I'm trying to tune
only Cursor, even not
only
enriching
cursor. Yeah,
the memory with Taskmaster. Okay, that also can work. Yeah.
yeah. So I used cursor. I created a project requirements documentation based on what I'm figured out, what I set up as achievables. I wrote a one-page long BRD, and I feed it to the cursor agent. The cursor agent gave me 11 points, 11 user stories that should be fulfilled, and I go thoroughly, step by step, by each point. Um, and I faces issues, challenges, package installation, and so on. But I don't want to go in that
What
deeper.
did you do with the user stories? Did you save them in a file somewhere, or it was in the chat
Um,
context and then it went up?
no, basically, I haven't. I haven't. Unfortunately, I haven't saved
Save
them.
them.
It's
This would be
first time.
nice to save them in a file in your folder somewhere. Create like stories or something in the root folder on the left side. And then,
Yeah.
since your Taskmaster is not running, otherwise Taskmaster would be doing this. But if you take those 12 stories that Claude Sonnet generated on your cursor, and then copy paste it and save it as like one file or 12 files, one story per file. And then whenever
Mm-hmm.
you're working on one of those features, and then you drag and drop that one file in the chat, the memory or the context, this is basically context engineering, the new hot topic in the market.
I see.
So then you
Okay.
drag and drop that little file, and then that is enriching the context of ChatGPT or Claude in this case, and then it will instruct the LLM to produce the code in the right direction. Otherwise, it will
I
hallucinate more, it will give you a lot of errors, and it will not
mm,
produce the code as you should be looking at.
I see. Okay, and next time I will. So it was also
Uh,
some sort of learning
uh,
curve because that was the first time
Emery, next time if
I
you want to do it, I highly recommend do it with Claude Code. I am kind of
yes.
like leaving the tribe of Cursor, uh, not Cursor entirely, but I am adding um, Claude Code as the. I'm joining the Claude Code tribe very soon. Mary was in a master class for 5 hours. We put Claude Code and Cursor on a competition. We built the same web application at the same time. Unfortunately, their Claude Code lost the battle, but I identified it right away in there. I said it is not a fair fight because
Mm,
I am very good in Cursor in Taskmaster, but I don't have a lot of experience in Cloud Code. Now, after educating myself so much with Cloud Code and also build a whole lot of things with Cloud Code, it's a different beast. Like the amount of content in my new course covering Cloud Code is insane. Like you can build a lot of things with Cloud Code that you cannot build with Cursor. I mean, the tool itself is insane. It's for engineers. But if it's kind of like trained in a way that non-engineers can use it, the same way as Lovable or Cursor or Replit and so on, it becomes an amazing piece of technology.
mm,
I will
yeah.
release that course as soon as I can, and then you can use your next project with Cloud Code and Cursor. It's a small little change. You will end up having the same experience, but the underlying components will become like 10 times more better.
Okay, yeah. I saw your post about that you want to change to cloud code. Yeah.
Yeah, we made a new game. My son and I made a new game. It's kind of like a pattern ball, if you know this pattern ball game. But the catch is that the pad, you don't move it with your arrows, you move with your whole body. there's a camera in front of the TV, and then he just jumps back and forth to move the pad, and then the ball hits it and then breaks the blocks. And in one shot, that was done with Cloud Code, and the amount of context engineering you can do with Cloud Code is insane. With all the hooks, and then it can go in autonomy with this YOLO mode and so on. It's amazing.
But it's also compatible with Taskmaster, right?
Yes,
So you
you
can
can use Taskmaster. You can add an MCP server in Cloud Code, and then you can add the MCP of Taskmaster with Cloud Code, and then it just works off the shelf. But I have discovered another way that I'm teaching in my current course is that you generate the Taskmaster tasks with Cursor, and then you run Cloud Code without the MCP in case if your MCP is down or something. And then Cloud Code has access to the folder structure, and then you can instruct Cloud Code to actually see the tasks of Taskmaster and then update it. And then the CLI works, the cursor works, Cloud Code works, all of them in a combination in an orchestration layer. It works. And I discovered this
Wow.
thing myself during the course creation.
Okay.
I'm super excited about this new course. So carry on, please. I keep hijacking your presentation. And
No problem. I get used to it. But anyway, so this is the dashboard. It is consists of four items: the recent calls, whether it was successful, what is the transcript. It's very in baby shoes. So maybe I will adjust it based on what I will receive from the Anytime workflow. So I made a little bit the things another way around. So I'm started at the end and not from the beginning. So most likely, as I'm going to build up the Anytime workflow, I have to adjust the UI because the transcript, we know that what kind of transcript Bepi deliver any to Anytime. So it's a huge amount of transcript. So maybe I have to summarize it and I have to create another column in Superbase. But anyway, that's the way I doing this the things. But I have to adjust it in the future most likely. The upcoming follow-ups. There is no upcoming follow-ups in the database, as you can see, and call volume chart. It's a very basic chart, so I haven't dealt so much time with that. I face technical issue as I try to install a component, a chart components, but I solved it, so I use another chart for that. In the alert section, yeah, I still have to fix some performance issues and have to tackle some performance issues, and the page is not loading well, so I have to review the code. But in the alert section, we will most likely see it's loading. We will see the escalated call if it's yeah, a small hiccup. So, but it's not showing the. It's interesting because we have a. It should show the this report, and it has been shown previously, but currently it's a bug. I have to fix it anyway. So
that's fine.
this is fine coding.
Production demos can most often fail, but this is a development demo, so it's literally an open engine, and we're switching on a car with an open engine.
Yeah.
All right.
And we have,
so
well,
let me understand this. Like you
yeah.
have almost finished your front end project, your
Yeah.
our full stack project with the Superbase integration, and your N8N workflows is yet to be worked on, or I saw some workflows. Where are you standing there?
Yeah. So basically, I created two workflow. One which is gathering the end of core report. So I want to extract all the information from the end of call report, make analysis with an AI agent, and this should be sent to the corresponding
So, so
database table.
okay.
And
So the
the second,
requirement, pardon me, just to make sure I understand it correctly, your requirement for N8 is to summarize a call coming right away from VAPI.
yeah. So I want to extract the information from the end of call report. I don't want to use the to call. So I'm just
Okay.
what being said during the conversation.
And
I want
also these symptoms, right? The pain, does it have pain or not? And the structured
yeah
output, basically.
yeah
Okay, okay.
yeah
And then that will be sent to Supabase.
Superbase, yeah,
And then
the
it will be
corresponding.
automatically triggered or shown on the front end. So this
Yes,
is the
exactly.
moment, this is the um you need to find out where to trigger. I'm also curious to see next week what happens to that. I We need to see. By the way, next week we need to reschedule our call because next week at this time we'll be in deep into this vibe coding and N8 workshop for 2 days. So we need to reschedule this call a day before that. So what I'm trying to say is like we need to find out. First, you can do the homework. I will also think about it asynchronously. Let you know where to put the triggers. Like
Mm-hmm.
if a nurse opens your web page and she key punches, or even that web page needs to be rethought about. Like let's zoom out and see how can we make this platform go on low fuel for a clinic. What do I mean by that? Nurses are usually busy. If you introduce this tool and tell them that besides all your paperwork, you need to also fill this form, they're going to be pissed off. We need to find out if there is a system that the nurses already use. Since you don't have an actual client, or maybe you don't use the actual client's data or use case in this case, we can Google around and then find out what is the mostly used clinic automation, clinic software in the world. And then you sign up an account there, and then you see if they provide APIs and webhooks. And then one webhook kind of like visit registered or visit report done or something. We put a webhook there that will trigger your system. So your system goes in the shadows entirely. And then that system, let's call it like, I don't know, clinic information management system, CIMS. So CIMS will provide a webhook, and then you do that webhook to your workflow. Your workflow enriches everything, puts it on the front end, generates the scheduled call, and so on. And then from there, the nurse do not need to operate two systems. The nurse will only operate one system, that's clinic information management system, that they are using it for 10 years or so already. And then what happens is the adoption of your product will be extremely good. So you can scroll down here a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's pick one. Let's say Link HMS. Open this website, please. So you could do this, like maybe this is contact sales. This is like not easy. Find something that you can do a trial period for free and so on. You don't need to contact sales. You can sign up and check it out. If you can check out a system that have like millions of clinics already on the platform, pick that one first. And then you integrate that, because all you need is like the patient information. That's it, in order to schedule, and also some information for the visit. So if you can get that already from the registered and the currently used systems, then you will need to just do one one webhook integration, and then you're pretty much settled for the rest of the UI. You can still give them the form that your form, like they can open your form and then fill it out if they don't want to integrate it with these systems. But if you integrate it with these systems, this will lower the friction, the adoption friction.
Yeah.
Clinics will adopt it much faster because they don't need to do anything. They will just install your software and then it will just work like a Swiss watch in the background.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Do you have any questions? Anything else you want to show?
No, so my plan is to finalize the N8 workflow.
Okay.
Next
If
week.
not, then you can stop screen sharing. Let's put some final words to this. It was really amazing progress, like literally a couple of weeks, and you guys are already building something that is useful, and that's extremely powerful. Imagine if this kind of tools can be democratized and everybody working on any sector can do this. As I say this repetitively, what if a 16-year-old kid in a rural village in India can automate a workflow for the clinic of that village, and then the doctors cut 10 hours per week from the paperwork that they used to do. That 10 hours can be used for saving more lives in that village, and that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I wish to see you guys next week then. Bye.
Bye.